Hello and welcome to the final instance of this Gravit poster design tutorials. Today I will show you how to make a final assembly of all the design elements that we collected during the previous videos, and I will also show you how to give it a style and make it a bit more personal. Okay, let's get started. First of all, I'm gonna place some of the images that I've collected, in this case a sketch, and I want to resize this sketch image according to the initial layout that I had. To do this, I'm gonna first duplicate this gray square rectangle and then make sure my image is placed on the background by right clicking, arrange, send to back. Now I can place my gray rectangle, select both images, right click again, mask with shape. That's it. Now I have resized my sketch to the size that I wanted and I can place it where it belongs. Right, so that was the first technique, how to resize an image. Let's try with another technique. For this case, I'm gonna use this image inspiration. Same as before, I'm gonna align my gray rectangle to the picture. I'm gonna align my image with the gray rectangle to the top left corner. Then I can double click on the image and some cropping handles will appear. I can adjust these corners to match my gray rectangle. Also, I can click and drag the image inside this cropping window to adjust the position. I have here just one image, but remember you could have as many as you want. My overall layout is 2 pages, but yours could be longer. Next, I'm creating some captions for my images, one for my image reference and one for my text. I'm going to change the color to white, and I also will add the source where I find this image. In this case, on Behance, I will add the title of the project and also by who it was made. I'm now gonna place my main perspective drawing into my layout. Make sure to group all these lines so that they move together. Also, make sure to copy paste it in the first page. I'm gonna now speed up a little bit the process where I adjust the lines to fit my layout properly. I'm gonna do the same thing with my two orthographic views, the one from the side and the one from my top view. Again, group the lines and then copy paste it, in this case in my second page. Now you can see me playing a little bit with the elements inside the layout to make it fit nicely. With the subselect tool, I can adjust a little bit my elements individually. While you're playing with the different elements, don't worry if it takes a bit of time to adjust the things to the layout. It's a work in progress, and when you're doing graphic design, the important thing is that you keep trying new different things if it doesn't work, and adjusting slightly the things to the grid, adjusting the different elements together, and it takes time. It's an iterative process, so it doesn't matter if it doesn't get right at the beginning. This is quite normal. The important thing is that you keep going, you keep tweaking, you keep making it looking nice little by little. It won't look perfect at the beginning. You will see during the tutorial the layout is evolving a little bit, even for myself. Finally, I'm copy pasting my action and interaction drawings, and also I'm gonna make sure it's pasted in my second page. And now that I integrate all the design elements, I can get rid of all the extra pages that I was using. Okay, let's skip forward a little bit. As you can see, I add some subtitles and above my paragraphs that I had before, they were none. I will specify here exactly what I'm talking about in this text, in this case in the interaction and the visuals for my processing. Next, I will add already a little bit of style for my title. I will give it some nice gradient because since my project involves gradient colors, I will do the same for my text. To add a gradient to text, you can first select it, right click and convert to path. This will create an outline that you can now change to a linear gradient. Now I will add a gradient to match the color style for my project. In this case, red, yellow and green. You can also change the direction of the gradient by dragging the inside line that appears when you are selecting the gradient. Following the same design language, I will create an extra frame around the purpose and function parts, and I will make just a rectangle that is slightly offset from the original one, so it creates some nice margins, and I will fill the inside of this rectangle also with the same gradient like I did before. I proceed to do the same thing for the two little images that I have in my first page, the image reference and my sketch. Make sure at the end you resize slightly these new images with extra frame to match your grid. Great. Next, I proceeded by tackling a little bit the explanation for my interaction actions, which was a bit missing in details. I added this icon of a headphone that I found on Google that will help me to explain further the relationship between the cause and effects of shaking the maraca. I'm also improving a little bit the causality arrows that I designed in the first place and making it a dual arrow just by using the pen tool. Next, you will see me how I adjust the handles to make the curvature of the arrow the way I want it. I then mirror this path and adjust the distance of the second arrow. Great. Let's give these two lines some thickness so I will be able to merge my original arrow with my new shape. You can see me here zooming in to see what is the thickness of the arrow that I'm looking for, and I try little by little. In the end, I settle for 18.9, which gives me a very smooth transition. I do the same thing for the other arrow. I can vectorize the borders. Now I'm ready to join all the shapes into one single path.
Each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on two separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound, impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
With the subselect tool, I elongate a little bit the tail from the left side. And I also decided that I didn't want to have it filled in, I'm just gonna keep the border. Here I'm just selecting some control points and deleting them to have even a smoother transition. To continue, I'm gonna go back to Google and look for a music sound wave image that I will be able to use to illustrate further some details of the interaction. In this case, I want to show that when you shake the maraca, there is a sound beat that you hear in the headphones. I double click on the image and proceed to crop it and also adjust the height. You can see I try several different ways to integrate this image behind the headphone, on the side of the headphones, the length, the height, and it takes me some time. Like I said before, this is an iterative process. Next, I want to illustrate the two beats of shaking a maraca. What are the two effects when shaking it? When you're at the bottom and when you're at the top of the shake. For that, I create two small number indicators referencing the 1 and the 2 stroke beat, and I will reference them again on my right side where I show what happens in my screen and also what happens in my headphones. So I write first maraca strike and second maraca strike, and I will proceed to change a little bit the effect. What's gonna happen? Basically, I'm gonna invert the gradient and I'm gonna change the direction of the gradient according to the accelerometer data. Nice. Now I actually have the information what happens when people are interacting with my project. In a nutshell, moving the maraca will create kind of a melody or a beat in your headphones and also change the visuals that the person will be seeing. Now I'm doing some final adjustments and I'm almost done. To finish it, I'm downloading another image from Google, which is a wallpaper for your desktop, and I'm gonna overlay it on top of my title. When I select the image, I have a blending mode. In this case, I select overlay. Feel free to play with other blending modes on top, like multiply or soft light. And this will add some details, add some texture to it and make it a bit more interesting. Finally, we are done with our poster. The last step is to save it, to make sure you save it in your cloud, and then go to File, Export, and export as PDF. The highest resolution you can save without the Pro version is 150 dpi, but this is plenty for your submission. Amazing! So I hope you put a lot of work on your own poster, and I hope that all these tips that I show you were useful to you, and I'm sure you will do a great job. Bye bye!